Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Canon EOS photographer RandallMRueff. Today is Saturday, November 28th, 2015 AD. It is 5:46 in the AM. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what you're seeing here, which is the Canon EOS EF 24-70 f2.L 2 USM. L standing for fluoride, 2 meaning it's the second version, and USM standing for ultrasonic motor. Now, this is probably for a lot of photographers either their first good lens or their second good lens. Um, I talk to photographers all the time when I'm dealing with weddings and getting ready for wedding stuff. And I've talked over my time as a photographer. I've talked to different photographers, and I watch a lot of videos on lenses and cameras and stuff like that. So I keep up with what's current and what's being developed and what's coming out and approximately when it's coming out. And this has been out for a while, of course, but this is one of those lenses that a lot of people like to have. For example, it used to be one of the that I like to have was the 50 millimeter 1.2. But the problem with the 1.2 is, one, it's fixed focal length, and two, with the 1.2 aperture, it really is, for example, you can focus on, let's say if you're shooting a person's face, you can focus on their eye, but their nose will be blurry, or their nose will be sharp and their eyes will be blurry, because the amount of depth of field you have to play with really is very small, and it's really easy to mess that up. So now probably what a lot of people like to start off with is this lens, or have it be a second lens. The second lens a lot of people like is the 70-200. A lot of professionals, high-end people that do portraits, landscapes, and even some sports and wildlife, basically portraits and weddings and stuff like that, like the 70-200 because it's a 2.8. Well, let's get to this lens. And this lens is very for your wide angle and standard and a little bit of telephoto on your full frame camera, or if you have a crop sensor, it's still, I think, let's see, 24 times 1.6. I might have to do the math, but I think it's still under 50. But still, even so, it's a 2.8. So let's just deal with full frame right now. 24-70, 2.8. A lot of people like 2.8 for one reason. One, you can blur out the background. Two, you can get sharp tack focus, or tack sharp focus, I should say. And the 2.8 isn't so, it's not like the 1.0 where sometimes you can focus on the tip of the nose and the eyes will be blurry. It's got enough depth of field where you can get the nose, the eyes, maybe the ears, It's got that much depth of field where all of them can be in focus. And for that reason, and the fact that you can zoom it, and it's a very high quality built lens. It's a red ring, so it's going to be good. The EF 24-70 f2.8L 2 USM is a very sought after lens. Now, one of the downsides is the price. It's approximately, as of this recording, $1,800. The Canon store has it for $1,799, so I just basically say $1,800. Plus, you're going to want to get a UV zero filter to put on the end of the lens. And plus, you might want to get a lens hood. It doesn't have to be as big as some of the other lens hoods because it is a 24-70. So the lens hood doesn't have to be as big as, say, if you were shooting with a 300 or 400 or 600. But nonetheless, you still might want to get a lens hood of some kind to protect the excess light from coming in from angles you don't want it to. And you wouldn't necessarily have to, because some people like that effect of the light coming in. And two, that light's not always going to be coming in, but it just depends on what time of day it is and what angle you're shooting, what the light's like outside. So that may not even be a problem depending on where you shoot. If it is, like I said, get a lens hood, takes care of it real easy. But Lots of positives on this lens. High build quality, great glass. Again, a lot of photographers go for this because it is the 2.8. You can get very sharp images. You got wide angle, you got standard, and you got a little bit of zoom. And like I said, 2.8 sharpness. Plus, you can blur out the background. For a lot of professionals, that's very important. Blurring out that background is what that 2.8 is all about. Plus, getting low light with that 2.8, you can also get a lot of light into your camera. So, I mean, just a lot of positive things about this lens. So, you might want to seriously consider buying this lens if you've got a D.S.L.R, Canon, and you're wanting to get some really good pictures. 24-70. Now, is that going to be as good? Right? I shoot with 28 to 300, and obviously I've got a longer focal length variances, but I don't have a 2.8. I can't blur out the background as good as that 2.8 with my 20 to 300. I wish I could get a 2.8 on my 2300. That would be awesome, but it doesn't work that way. So if you want to blur out the background, you're doing low light, you want wide angle to standard, to a little bit of zoom, or a little bit of above standard, this is going to be the lens for you. This is a good everyday lens if you're just taking pictures of your kids, or just casual pictures, or groups of people doing stuff, or this would be a great wedding lens too if you can get decently close. I mean, it's not like you have to be standing right over them, but if you can get decently close, this would be a good lens for weddings. So lots of uses for this lens. And like I said, 2.8, you're going to blur out backgrounds. You got wide angle, standard, and a little bit of telephoto in there. So lots of creative options you can do with this lens. Again, the only downside for me is the price. It is $1,800, but you get what you pay for. So normally, and Canon's a good example of that. This is what they call a standard zoom lens, and it's available now. Lots of photo retailers. So I hope this video has helped you, informed you. And until next time, I'm Canon EOS photographer, RandallMRueff. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. God bless.